Hi, Sean here from Power Fitness. So today I have Eanna Mc Namara here, who is an online personal trainer and a photographer. So if you'd like to give us a quick intro there for yourself, Eanna.
Yeah, so my name's Eanna, like Sean said. I'm from Galway. I'm into like the gym, do a lot of personal training, and I've had to move to online personal training now entirely. And then I do photography as well, so I'm fairly busy.
And you find yourself still busy during the pandemic?
Definitely not as busy. I think like any business sort of has to learn how to adapt during these times. And that's sort of what I did with the personal training because I was very like hands-on in person. It was very close, so you couldn't keep that up. So I moved most of that to online, and then photography. That's going to take a hit at the minute because no one really needs. There's no events and things happening now, so a lot of that has got cancelled. But to give me more time to kind of focus on getting pictures of the sunset and kind of putting that on social media, and I find that's helping people as well. So there's always ways to adapt, I think, and that's kind of important.
Exactly. There's been some lovely sunsets anyway the last few weeks if
Yeah,
you've had the
really
best
nice. Yeah,
weather. I
yeah.
suppose like how would you feel about like coping mechanisms for people during this time? Like obviously people had to adapt to like yourself moving online, or people have to
Yeah,
adapt to working from home or not working at all, spending
yeah,
more time at home and
uh,
just getting out for their 2K walk a few times a day.
yeah. So I
What would be your
think,
thoughts on that?
yeah. So I think like a lot of people, what they're finding the hardest is they've went from working 9 to 5 because a lot of people have lost their jobs or else had to reduce hours or work from home now. So there's a lack of routine there. They're getting up at different times. They're not able to go to the gym. They're not able to go and meet their friends or go to the pub on a Friday or whatever it is. So I think a routine is a big one. Like if you can try and put in some routine, if you get up at the same time. What I like to do is I get up in the morning and I'll read first thing in the morning because it's something I didn't get to do before, but it kind of sets me up for the day. I've learned something. I feel a bit productive and I feel a bit better about myself instead of getting up, spend an hour on TikTok or Facebook scrolling, watching shite you don't need to see. Like so, I think what you do kind of definitely in the morning as well will help how you feel throughout the day. And if you have a bit of a routine for yourself, it will definitely help. And then coping mechanisms with regards to like just kind of feeling shitty about the whole situation. If you can try and exercise every day, I know some people don't like the home workouts. They're not as enjoyable as going to the gym and you're not with your friends, or just there isn't a trainer right there with you, so it is different. So I think if you exercise like in some shape or form, it could be a walk, it could be running around the garden with the kids, it could be cycling a bike, like just anything small that you enjoy, just to get the endorphins flowing and just to feel good. You're not looking to lose 3 stone at the minute because everything's a bit more difficult now, and there isn't a gym to go to, and you don't have a trainer beside you. It is a bit harder, but if you just do the exercise, even just to feel a bit better, I think it would help a lot.
Definitely, yeah,
Um,
100%.
Another one for me, I know at the start of this, I was being kind of consumed a lot, just with the news and constantly kind of keeping like up to date with everything. So I find like if you just reduce that a bit and reduce Facebook time and social media time, because it's hard not to go on your phone and see something straight away about how many people have died today or how many thousand have gotten coronavirus. I couldn't tell you how many people have it now, just at the minute, because I know it's constantly going up and eventually it will come to a standstill and start dropping down and stuff. But I don't think it's good for anyone to see that every day or every hour. So
No, so
reducing that
definitely,
can definitely make you feel
definitely,
a bit better.
like just turn off the notifications on the phone or having the phone
Yeah,
on silent, on airplane mode. Mine is
yeah,
always on silent.
yeah,
So when someone rings me, sometimes I don't see it for a
yeah,
few hours or whatever. But definitely turn on the
yeah.
phone, or not turning on the phone first thing in the morning, I think is huge, because then you're just reactive to the
Exactly.
world
Yeah,
being something, even if it's not about COVID, even if it's about a meme or anything. It's just that it's that constant information. So I think you're on the ball there with your reading in the morning.
yeah,
People have different routines. Some people get out for that walk first thing in the morning, which is brilliant to get that fresh air in. Personally, I try and hop out of bed and do the yoga even when I don't want to.
yeah,
Find that gets, at least I have one of that task done. and it sets me up for the rest of the day. Suppose leading on from that, then do you have any tips that you give to your clients about just getting moving more,
Yeah,
even before this? Because soon enough we'll be going back to normal, whatever normal life is.
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
go back to that. Tips moving more day to day now, and when we
And
get
for
back
the
to
future, I suppose.
normal life.
Yeah, so like a big one is definitely steps, and like you might think, oh, a few steps isn't going to be much, but if you, let's just say if you're doing 5,000 steps a day, which is, it's still okay, it's not terrible. And if you got that up to 7,000, if you increase that by two, like, yeah, that's two in a day. But if you did that regularly every single day, that's 14,000 in a week, like, which is a lot, like, just even for your headspace and for just your physical health. And it can help with weight loss as well. Some things that I kind of tell clients, and I've had clients do, is like park further away at work, park further away at the shop, don't park right beside the door. Like, you can walk a bit, that will increase your steps. Take the stairs instead of the lift or the elevator. There's definitely no need to be doing that all the time, and a few steps can help a lot and go a long way. On your lunch breaks as well, like if you can get out for a walk in work, if there's somewhere to do that, I've recommended that to a lot of clients, and they found it really helpful and beneficial. And they kind of found as well, they were spending, let's say, 10-15 minutes eating their meal, and then the rest of the time they're just kind of picking on stuff, or they're not really doing anything too productive. So they might go out with a colleague and go for a walk, and they feel much better, and they're reset and ready to go back to work as well
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
increasing their steps without kind of making it feel like a chore.
Yeah.
um
You're increasing your activity level, and also you can eat more or
yeah,
eat the
yeah,
same amount.
and
You don't
getting
have to eat
vitamin D
less.
as well. Yeah,
You can just move
exactly.
more. So
Yeah,
it's kind of tricks of the trade, I suppose,
yeah.
that we've been telling people for years.
Exactly, yeah. And don't kind of underestimate walking. Like, it can be enough. If you never joined a gym, and we shouldn't say that because then we'd have no clients. If you never joined the gym, like, you could lose weight just walking and monitoring your food. So don't underestimate walking. Like, it's a powerful tool that we have. And, like, years and years ago, we used to be a lot more active. And I think that's why there's such a problem now with obesity and stuff, is because we went from, my dad, like, for example, used to walk to school, he used to walk everywhere, didn't have a car. They had a donkey and a cart to go to town, maybe. They didn't have a car for years and years. And I mean, he used to walk, I don't know how far, it could be a few kilometers every morning to school. Like, and you wouldn't dream of sending your kids walking to school these days. Like, it's on the bus or the car. So our activity levels, even over the last 50, 60 years or so, have dramatically decreased, and there's even more food readily available now, and it's easier to be lazy, to sit down and binge watch Netflix. Netflix wasn't around back then, and fast food wasn't as easy to get, and there's so much of everything now. So I think there's a lot to learn from the past as well.
Definitely, 100%. And hopefully we learn from this pandemic that use this kind of as a reset, and just kind of
Exactly,
take
yeah.
a look at ourselves. It can be useful if we do look at it in the right light. Suppose just going a bit deeper then, a lot of people then are at home and maybe caught in their own heads, and they suffer from stress, anxiety, depression. Um, I don't know if you've dealt with clients with that before,
Yeah.
or in your own life or whatever, but would you have any tips on how to cope with that, I suppose?
Yeah, so I've definitely dealt with both anxiety and depression myself, and kind of surrounded by mental health issues, I suppose. So it's kind of always at the forefront of my mind, and it's always a priority of mine to kind of work ways around reducing my anxiety, because maybe probably a couple of years ago, it was at a stage where it was kind of controlling me, whereas now I sort of control it. And I think it's important to kind of like understand that it's not just going to disappear in the morning. You're not going to wake up and it's gone. Everyone has a bit of anxiety, but sometimes it gets heightened. And I think now is a stressful time. People are stuck in their houses. They're not socializing as much. There's financial pressure. There's a number of different things. So if you felt normal now, it's a bit strange to feel normal. So it's perfectly fine not to feel fine right now. And if you do feel anxious, then there's a few things I like to do. So like you were saying earlier, the no notifications on your phone, that was a big one for me. Because the two of us, like, we're coaches, and there's people constantly messaging us, asking us questions and everything. That's perfectly fine. But just the way that we work, it's almost like we don't turn off. And I think everyone's kind of like that in that sense. Even if you're working somewhere else, like, there's still, do you know what I mean? Your boss can text you at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night if he wants to. And if I put my phone on do not disturb, and it just means that, let's say in the morning I woke up, I could have had like 20 notifications and messages and things. Some of them were from you from yesterday, but as soon as I pick my phone up then and I'm ready to reply, that's when I'll reply. So I'm kind of setting certain work hours, and I'm not reactive, like you said. I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. to the ding on my phone and going, shit, I have to reply to Sean, or you know, it's kind of pick certain hours where you're using your phone, because everyone feels like everything's really immediate, and it isn't. Like, it doesn't have to be done now. And if there is a serious emergency or someone really needs to get through to you, they'll call your sister or your mom, or they'll get through to you, or ring you 2 or 3 times, and that turns the do not disturb off. So I think that will help a lot anyway, just kind of reducing a bit of stress, because the phones, even if we don't realize it, are adding a lot of stress, and we do feel like everything's kind of, you know, like, immediate. And another thing with the phones as well is, like, a lot of us are on social media, like Facebook and Instagram and things, and we're following people that have these luxurious lifestyles and celebrities, and we're looking at them going, oh, I wish I looked like that, and I wish I had a house like that and a family like that. And it's not really good for us. So just ask yourself, like, the people you're following, which ones are making you feel better about yourself and teaching you things and adding value to your life, and then which ones are making you feel worse and making you compare yourself to them, and as a result making you feel worse again. So they can help a lot. Another thing then for me, a big thing, just because I'm so busy, everyone has a million thoughts a day, and just kind of, you have to kind of understand as well, like, if you're thinking of things and you just leave them there, they're just going to manifest and they're going to build up, and that's going to create a load of stress. So journaling, or just kind of writing it out, just to let it out there, put it on paper. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be like, oh shit, I have to walk the dog later, I have to do the shopping, I have to wash my hands, I have to do whatever it is. Just write it down, because then once it's out there, it's gone, it's out of your head, it's on paper, you'll remember to do it, and you're not constantly thinking about it. That's been a big one for me as well. Another big one for me, and I'm not like a mental health expert, but I know what kind of works for my anxiety, and even if you pick one thing from this and it helps you slightly, then you're in a better position than you were. So one for me is definitely caffeine heightens my anxiety, and it heightens a lot of people's anxiety. So I used to drink, maybe, could be like 5 or 6 cups of tea a day, maybe. Geez, I must drink 1 cup of tea a day. So I could drink like a lot of cups of tea. I might have a coffee as well, or else maybe a Monster. Yeah. Like, when you kind of think about it, you're like, shit, but you're like, shit, that's a lot of caffeine. So I switched to decaf recently, and I might have 1 cup of coffee a week. Like, even if I'm very tired and I have to train, or if I just want to enjoy it on a Sunday or something. That's when I'll have the caffeine.
But people are at home more now as well, so the kettle is always on.
Yeah. Like,
well, you do something, you come back an hour later, you've another cup of tea. You could have 5 or 6 cups of tea in a day.
In Ireland, anyway, it's just out of habit. I know my own mom was drinking 20 cups of tea a day, and she was having sleep problems, and I said, it's probably caffeine. Like, so I got her to switch to decaf, and we don't even have regular caffeinated tea bags in the house. And at the start, you will be like, oh, sure, it doesn't taste the same, but just put in 1 or 2 tea bags, or make it a bit stronger, and it's more or less the same. Like, you will get used to it. You honestly don't need a hit of caffeine every hour, like, because then you're relying on that as well as an energy source, but it's also kind of, it's heightening your senses, and it's not going to help your anxiety.
Exactly. And that goes into the sleep then as well, because caffeine has I think it's a 6
or 8
hour
about 6 hour half-life, I think.
It stays in your system for that 6 hours.
If you're
on how much you have, but so if you have it at 3 o'clock, it could still be in your system at 9
p.m. So, or even someone might have one after work at 6 or 7 in the evening, and think nothing of it, but 6 hours later could be 2 a.m. in the morning, like, and it's still in your system, and that's probably why you can't sleep as well. And if you're not sleeping properly, then as well, it's not gonna help with your anxiety. So that's another one. I think to really focus on trying to get 8 hours sleep, like minimum every night. Like just prioritize that. Don't tell me you don't have enough time, because most people do. Like,
Yeah. Just don't
it's
watch
not at
that
the top of
extra
your
episode
priority
of
list. Yeah, just turn Netflix
Tiger
off.
King.
Like, watch it tomorrow. Yeah.
Netflix will be there
Um,
tomorrow.
yeah, and then I suppose maybe I'll just add one or two more things, maybe just ways to kind of deal with it when you do feel anxious, because there are more kind of ways to prevent it from building up too much and making it worse, I guess. So definitely, like, yoga or meditation can help. I think most people should pick, like, try an hour if you can, but I know an hour is pushing it for some people, but half an hour in the day where it's kind of me time, and you're doing something for yourself that's not work related. And I don't know, it could be going for a walk with the phone left at home with the dog, like no distractions. It could be doing half an hour of yoga. It could be lying down on your bed listening to meditative music, lighting an incense stick. It could be in the bath for 30 minutes. It could be stretching. It could be exercising, because that's a form of meditation as well. But just make sure it's me time, and you're giving it to yourself, kind of allowing yourself to have that time. And I know a lot of people as well, they're at home with their families and people, and they're kind of cracking up. So you do need a bit of time away from people as well.
Yeah.
Be a bit selfish, if you'll call it that, but you need to realize you're the most important person in your life, not
Exactly.
everyone else.
Like, you can't give from an empty cup. So, like,
Exactly. Yeah.
just do be selfish. Do be
Yeah.
selfish. That's the right
There's
kind,
no
because
harm in
if you're in a good mood, it's gonna go off on other people as well. It's
Yeah.
gonna rub
Exactly.
off.
Yeah.
Just like if you're in a bad mood or a bit tired or run down or whatever, it's gonna rub off on people around you,
Yeah.
and it all has that snowball effect.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's it about maybe anxiety anyway. And I'll maybe just one more thing, maybe just I'd say if you can talk to someone about it. I know a lot of people can hold it in and wonder, like, is it okay to feel this way, and think that it's weird to say it to people. But, like, I think nearly everyone will experience some form of anxiety throughout their life. So it is perfectly normal. Like, if you know me or Sean, message one of us. We'll be perfectly confidential, and we'll try and help you in whatever way we can. There is free counselling online now as well. There's, I don't know how many sites. If you just look it up, you can find a free counsellor, talk to someone. It's something I do regularly. Every maybe 2 weeks, I talk to someone. Just to, my kind of way of thinking about it is, like, if you're going to go to the gym and have someone, train you and coach you, and you're going to look after your body, then why is the mind kind of dealt differently? Why would you not do something or go to someone that will help you think and feel as best you can? That definitely helped me a lot as well. And I think a lot of people are afraid to kind of maybe ask or go and do that or take that leap of faith. Like, but just try it out. Maybe it's not for you, but talking to someone is more powerful than you think, especially when it's confidential.
First step is the hardest, I suppose. Just actually going and doing it the first time. Once you're there, it's just like going to the gym. The hardest part of going to the gym is actually
and then it's
getting in the door of the gym.
Yeah, and then
once you're in there, you're in there. Me or you shouting at you to get work done.
Yeah, and it's routine then as well, and it's not as intimidating, and it's literally like everything. If you kind of want anything to work as well, you have to put in a small bit of work, and that's it. It's just going to take a small bit of work at the start, but it's like anything. The more you work at it, the better you'll become at it. So, don't kind of look at your mind as a separate area to your body, because it's a 360 view, as Mark Hole says. So you need to look at, like, not just your muscles in the gym or how you look, but you need to look at how you feel as well, and prioritize everything in your life and see, are you kind of ticking all the boxes you can be? And yeah, so
exactly. You know yourself. You can see bodybuilders on stage and they look fantastic, and then they're inside they hate what they look like. And then you can have a guy who's just after running 5K on a treadmill, and he gets off and looks at his biceps in the mirror, and he thinks he's fucking Mr. Olympia. So like, it's how you look at it. He feels great, happy days. That's
yeah.
it.
There's a photo I saw before, and it was kind of similar to that. It was I think it was a kind of a skinnier built person looking at someone who's like average body weight, say. and they're like, oh, I wish I looked like that. And then that person was looking at someone who was a bit more muscly, going, I wish I looked like him. I wish I had more muscle. And then the muscly person was looking at the skinny person, thinking, oh, I wish I was a bit skinnier, because everyone has a bit of body dysmorphia, I suppose, when you're so focused on how you look. So if you can focus on how you feel and the feeling of exercise, and focusing on all areas of life instead of just how you look, because that's not going to make you feel better. Like, you can have it in, like, do have it in there and try to look a bit better, but don't make that your priority, because it's not going to make you feel good in the long run.
Yeah.
It's like, look, it's like going, I want this car, and when I get this car, I'm going to be happy. And you get it and you sit in it and you're just as depressed as you would be sitting in your Toyota Yaris out the back. So
exactly, you're always chasing that car.
Yeah, you need to kind of do the things that make you happy from within as well. Anyway, but you can still work in them things, but happiness is not like something you chase or go after or get through going to the gym. But going to the gym will make you feel better, and being healthy will make you feel better, I think.
Brilliant. I will have that knock-on effect to the rest of your life, to your work life, home life,
Everything, yeah, completely.
Relationships, everything. So that was brilliant. We got some great tips there, and great just tips to use for different things, for just moving more, parking further away from the shop, taking the stairs, getting out for your 2K. I think it's gone up to 5K now, is it?
Yeah, it's 5K now, and just it's important to remember as well that it's not just like a 5K straight line, it's 5K radius, so you can go a bit further than you think. Like, so there's a lake, like, which is 5 kilometers from me. It's not a straight line, but it's just over the 5K mark. So I mean, there's things around Ireland we can go to and walk to.
Exactly, getting out in nature is huge.
Yeah,
especially when people are in the States or in cities and towns. Try to get out, be in nature as much as possible.
If you're living in an apartment, I think it's completely different as well. I can't imagine living in an apartment, like, just being outdoors and getting vitamin D, and just being outdoors is like way more beneficial than people realize as well.
Done. Good. So thanks for the tips. So Eanna, where can we find you for looking for you on social media?
If you want to find me on Facebook, it's just Eanna Mc Namara Fitness. Instagram is Macasaur, or if you search Eanna Mc Namara, it should come up. You'll find photography there as well. I have photography and Facebook or fitness. I do the two of them, just kind of separately. So if you just search my name in either Facebook or Instagram, that's where you'll find me mainly. But hopefully myself and yourself will do a few more podcasts in the future and things.
Definitely, 100%. It's just a few trial runs first, and we'll meet again.
Exactly. Yeah, we're looking forward to getting a few gym sessions in together again. Anyway.
Definitely, yeah, 100%. So we'll leave it there. Thanks a million, Eanna. Thanks for
no bother.
Your input in that, and talk to you soon.
All right.